On behalf of the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture, the teaching panel, and the University of Peradeniya, and our staff, we warmly welcome you, the new group of students, the new batch of students for the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture. Let me first congratulate you because the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture is academically attached to the University of Peradeniya. It's a national institute. It's open for everybody in the country and abroad. And all the overseas students are also here. But all these academic qualifications, the maintenance of academic standards and awarding degrees is done by the University of Peradeniya, the general convocation. And we have a huge number of students coming from like 9 different faculties, and right now 3 postgraduate institutes are there. So we go through a tough process actually. We do not let those with diplomas and things without degrees to get involved. And we have aptitude tests, and so congratulations to you. You have completed all that requirements. And this is probably the first time you are getting a chance to do what you want. For example, like when you are doing A-level, you may be in the biology stream or art stream or medicine stream, all these kind of different allied health sciences, all these kind of different streams people. Now that you have those degrees, but when you are doing A-level, based on the marks, the University Grants Commission decides where you should go. So it's not that you decide, it's the University Grants Commission decides where you must go. And that's kind of sad because many people get disappointed that you don't get a chance to do what you want to do because it is free education. If you pay, then you have a chance, but here you get free education. So that's nice, but then you don't get a chance to go to your own places. But then somehow you survive, somehow you adapt, somehow you get into those courses. And when you get into that degree program, you find certain subjects that you like, and you try to even specialize some of those subjects. And then even within that subject, you may go into that micro areas and do your research projects and things. And finally, you explore and you get adapted. And then you get jobs in different places, and the jobs have their own requirements, the type of degrees that they want and stuff. And then you decide what kind of a master's program that I want to get in. So this is kind of like the first time that you get a chance to do what you want to do. Maybe partly because of your own interest, maybe due to the job requirement, maybe because of your ambition that this is how I should move. So many reasons are there that you have to select this particular master's program or MPhil or PhD program. So I really congratulate you that you got the chance to come to the best place to learn the agriculture at a postgraduate level. This is the only national institute for agriculture in Sri Lanka with 30 different master's programs. So you can see like how much variety we have, kind of courses that we can follow, and what kind of rich staff group that we have. A huge collection of teachers and students and alumni behind this PGIA situation. So congratulations that you took the right choice. You know, your batchmates, many of them have not selected to do master's programs or PhD programs. And, you know, they get older and they will have families and other commitments. And most of them, even though they have done well in the undergraduate times, they may not get a chance to do a postgraduate degree in the future, although they must be thinking about it. That may never happen. Some of them may go abroad. all these kind of things. So you took the right choice sooner or later. Some of you just are fresh and you have just started just after finishing your degree. Some of you have applied even without releasing the results. So you don't want to waste time and you just want to join right away, which is a really good thing. And some of you have gone to agriculture department or many other research stations and other things, and now you are ready to do this one. So you may be a little late compared to these fresh graduates, but better late than never. So that when your children grow, you will be, they'll be looking at your degree certificates, and they will be asking you all kind of questions about your postgraduate experience, and you'll be proud. And I'll be sitting here. This is an older picture, and I should put a picture of mine here. And so you will be walking down these aisles of this is Santana, and we go to this huge gymnasium. This is where all these thousands and thousands of graduates. I will be calling your name, and you walk down, and then the chancellor will, put the garland on you, and we'll take your photographs and award the degree certificates. And that's a beautiful location. Usually PGIA has about 300, 350 students graduating. And it's a really nice occasion. All the parents and other people that can really see what's happening, they will be sitting up there, these places. Some universities, do not have a big hall for convocation, so they use BMICH like places, but Peradeniya is the largest, and we have our own arrangements for our own communication. So then they walk down this aisle, and on the other side of the sun is the Mahavali River. And on the top of this side is the Senate buildings, and then the Anta, the mountain range. The University of Peradeniya is considered as the top 10 most naturally scenic universities. So the Sir Ivor Jennings first started this way because he came from England, and in 1940s we didn't have any postgraduate culture, postgraduate education, even the university education. The rich people would go to Cambridge, Oxford, like places. The poor, the middle class or the lower group will never get any kind of education beyond the school level. So he was in this higher degrees committee, and then he was trying to think about like coming up with a university. He was thinking better to arrange something in Colombo, and then later decided actually Colombo is kind of busy and crowded. We need a campus. Campus means like a total area dedicated to a land dedicated exclusively to this university, not like the other, like the one faculty is in the middle of the town, the other faculty is in another part of the town, not like that. And this is just when you come through the Gala Junction, and on inside you will see an entirely different landscape, the entire different beautiful buildings. So now that we are doing all these things in online, but don't forget you belong to the University of Peradeniya, and you must come and see how this landscape is developed by Sir Ivor Jennings. We have very, very old photographs with elephants and the workers, the building, the walls, the retaining walls and everything, and coming up with these nice structures above the Mahavali River, and flattening the lands and building the Senate buildings, and so many beautiful buildings are there. And what happened was like then Sir Ivor Jennings came by helicopters and tried to see the Kandy area and the Pallekali area. Pallekali cricket ground is there, the test cricket ground is there. And he found the Peradeniya is better than Pallekali cricket grounds area. Pallekali area is more like a dry zone area. There is a different climate from Kandy. more hot and humid and dry and not good for calm, peaceful thinking, cooler climate, conducive for learning. So this he found like from the top of the Hantan mountain range down to the Mahavali River. This is the beautiful place. Earlier it was like a tea estate kind of thing, so they converted the whole buildings. And he didn't know about the Sri Lankan architecture very much, but he had a tremendous respect. So he kind of hired or he used some of these really excellent architects like Shirley D. Alvis or Abercrombie, like different people who are very good familiar with the Polonnaruwa era, the architecture, and the Anuradhapura era architecture, or Dambadeni architecture. Those are different architectural pieces. And if you come to Peradeniya with a learned person and really try to see, you will see that the Senate building is built on stone pillars. You don't see that one anywhere. If you go to Vatadage or somewhere, Polonnaru or somewhere, you will see a rare, buildings where the whole building is built on columns, stone columns, while it is so much easier to build it on the ground. And if you come and see these architectural places, you will see some of these buildings in Peradeniya follow Anuradhapura tradition, and some of the buildings follow Polonnaruwa tradition. It's amazing. It's amazing how much things they have done in 1940s. So Charlie Dialli should come in his Volkswagen car all the way up to see every weekend from Colombo. He works in the parliament and all the other places. He's very learned person, very dedicated person, thin and tall. His family was in England, and just like the Titanic ship, they wanted to come and join him, but they, in the middle of the sea, they ended up in a huge storm and almost like Titanic. They sank, and so they turned back and went back to England and never came back to Sri Lanka. There are some grandchildren who came to Sri Lanka, but the wife and things, so they never came. So can you believe, sir, Iva Jennings was alone here, but totally dedicated without the family, but his full commitment to build the best university. At that time, it is one of the best, probably on the top, scenic, beautiful, most beautiful the buildings at that time. When if you go to rural areas in 1940s, how poor, how contrasting the university level buildings versus the buildings in the villages surrounded by paddy fields. It is a huge feat, and now we are 75 years, 8 years, we are reaching that level. So we are the oldest, the university, and the biggest university with 9 faculties. Faculty of Agriculture is one of the biggest, and is the first agriculture faculty in Sri Lanka. And in many other the faculties, if you go to Ruhina Agriculture, Suburban Agriculture, Uvavelas Agriculture, Eastern Agriculture, Wild Agriculture, and all these different places. If you go to, you will see most of the staff members are first degrees from Peradeniya. And so we have a huge pedigree, huge hierarchy. So we have the Faculty of Science, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Veterinary Science, Faculty of Dental Sciences, the Faculty of Management, Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, like that. So it's a whole big complex group. We are coming up with law faculty as well. So this is quite university. The word university comes from the word universe. We must be able to teach all subjects in the universe. That's why it's called Palkala Hikkalahambo Vishwa Vidyalaya. And that means like it should cover the whole universe. And that would be the complete university. And we are closer to that. When it comes to agriculture, we are the leaders. And the Postgraduate Institute was like evolved as a postgraduate arm of the Faculty of Agriculture. So if you come to the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture, we want you to be here on ground, but during this difficult economic conditions and high cost and sort of logistic issues, now we offer most courses online, although most teachers prefer to conduct on ground with so much interactions. And so when you first started right now as the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture, so it's established as a national institute directly under the UGC. For example, like the appointment of the director. So the advertisement goes on the newspapers, and anybody from the country or abroad can apply. I think you have to be a citizen of Sri Lanka, but you can apply, and then we have this interview process, and then we select by the Board of Management, not by the University of Peradeniya, but by the Board of Management directly under the UGC. And the appointment letter for the director is given by the UGC chairman, not by the Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya, which means like it is meant to be a national institute. We have a huge Board of Management. I mentioned the deans of this agriculture faculty in the Eastern University, dean of the agriculture faculty in the Rajarat University, dean of the agriculture in the Runa University, like that. All these deans are in the Board of Management, just like the council of the university. They are in the Board of Management of the Postgraduate Institute. So it's a PGIA comes under the ordinance under the Universities Act. So it is supposed to act independently. So, but when you give the power for any institute to act independently and award PhDs and masters and all these kind of degrees, who is going to monitor the standards of those? So the institutes can play around and they can even lower the qualifications, and they can take any kind of teachers and people, and they can give degrees for money. So who is going to monitor the academic standard of these kind of institutes? That was the question. And that's why the PGIA, although it's meant to be a national institute, it is attached to the University of Peradeniya. Every teacher of the PGIA must submit resume, their CV, and it has to be approved by the Board of Study and the Board of Management. It has to go to the Peradeniya University Senate. And the Senate scrutinize that one, and if they think this person is not suitable for teaching at this postgraduate level, we do not let that person come. And so it is not approved by the university. Whenever we try to offer a new course or new degree program or something, that goes to the University of Peradeniya, and the Senate of the University of Peradeniya have to look at carefully. They have a committee called Academic Development and Planning Committee. And, we split it into pieces, the whole course structure and everything, and scrutinize the whole thing. And then only they make corrections, and then only we get approved. Then it goes to the UGC, and UGC approves. So you cannot just, give degrees on your own or lower the standards or anything like that. All the results of the examinations has to go through the Board of Management to the University Senate, and the Senate approves, and finally the Council approves those degrees, and that's why the Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya award, put the garland on you. So that's the really good thing, that it is attached to the University of Peradeniya. So when you graduate, some of you may be like Indian graduates and coming from other places, the basic degree may be from different places. But now you get a chance to make your dream come true. That means you will be a Peradeniya graduate. And you will have a photograph to show to the other people, although my first degree is from somewhere else, my master's degree. So my postgraduate degree is from University of Peradeniya. which is one of the toughest university to get into. So this is a great opportunity. So this was started in PGIA was started in about 1975, 76 time. And at that time, there was no other postgraduate institute. No other postgraduate institute for any subject. So this is the first postgraduate institute. And this is the only postgraduate institute for agriculture. These other universities with agriculture faculties offer one or two or three master's programs, a few programs. But the PGIA covers every aspect of the agriculture, starting from soil to crop to biology to animal science to food science to engineering to economics to statistics, covering everything. Everything, comprehensive coverage of the degrees, biotechnology, all these type of things, nanotechnology, all these kind of subjects are covered. We have a huge group of teaching panel. About 99% of them have PhDs, and the huge group are professors and senior professors. I think right now we have more than about 360 teachers coming from all over the country and abroad. So Peradeniya Agriculture Faculty Teacher Group is about 90 contributing to the lectures and become the supervisors of the students' research, and they are the group that is really taking care of Peradeniya Agriculture. The faculty staff group is the one really helping with the PGIA Congress and all these board of study activities and so many things. And so they are the backbone. But all the others, we have teachers from Wayamba, all these places. Whenever we find a qualified person, if that person wants to apply, we take them in and give them a chance to get exposed to their postgraduate teaching and develop their career as well. So we have the teaching panel that includes that I think the teachers from almost all universities in Sri Lanka. Huge group. So that's the best collection we can have for agriculture. You can go to our student handbook and see the different types of courses we offer, hundreds of different types of courses we offer. And you can see you don't get that kind of things in if you go to Africa or when in some Asian universities, you don't get that kind of a range of collection fully dedicated for agriculture and allied fields. So congratulations to you. So when you come up this way, so the academic standards and the degrees, all these things are approved by the Senate and Council of the University of Peradeniya. So you are part of the University of Peradeniya culture. So you can join all this. This is that oldest building of this Senate. You can see how these buildings are made. You can see these things going up. These things are not necessary, but this is the architecture. This is the architecture. You can see this kind of roofs and structure. This is in Dalada Malika as well. This is the big the library building. And these huge landscapes, open areas with the breeze coming in. So when you go inside these things, the walls are thick. And so with this Santana range, mountain breeze coming in. So if you go to the library, it's much cooler. Just like you don't need any kind of air conditioning for these kind of things. You have this natural beauty during this time. So if you go to these collections, like all these columns, pillars, and structures, this is called the Shelley D. Alvis Pond, the dedicated in honor of this massive architect, the talented architect Shelley D. Alvis, who knew about all these the kingdoms that he had, Dambadeniya, the Apahura, Anuradhapura, Polonnaru, all these things. You must study. If you have a chance, you must study about the history of Peradeniya. And you will be proud, because when you bring your children to Peradeniya, they will ask questions from you. This is natural, our arena is called Sarat Chandra, open. Yeah, here is this is the stage. Yeah, they play Sinhabahu, Manami, and all these dramas. We have a drama week where that one whole week is dedicated for drama. Sometimes for one person like Jayalat Manoratna, they bring all the dramas of Jayalat Manoratna here. Jayalat Manoratna and Shankadidini, all these people are from Peradini and Edrivira Sarachandra, Professor Edrivira Sarachandra. So all these students are sitting here and they can watch these things in the weather permits. It's a beautiful area, unique. This is the Faculty of Agriculture of the University of Peradini, the main building. So as I said, this is we evolved as a postgraduate arm of the Faculty of Agriculture. So right now the backbone is the Faculty of Agriculture. Many of the lectures are conducted at the PGIA inside, but PGIA is not enough to accommodate all the lectures going on in the 30 different areas. So this Faculty of Agriculture, the departments, the lecture halls are used, and the PGIA doesn't have a laboratory, so the facilities, and so there is all the laboratories in the Faculty of Agriculture, are used mainly for this kind of the postgraduate teaching, postgraduate lectures during the weekends, and the master students, MPhil students and PhD students work in these laboratories. So the PGIA is grateful to the Faculty of Agriculture for providing all these laboratory facilities and everything free of charge. So the postgraduate Institute of Agriculture sometimes, purchase equipment and other things to strengthen the laboratory facilities of the Faculty of Agriculture. This faculty has about 8 departments. We have the crop science department, kind of the biggest. Then we have animal science. The agriculture is a crop and animal. So the animal science department and other departments like the food science and technology department. And then we have the economics, agriculture economics and business management department. Then we have the agricultural extension department. Then we have the agricultural engineering department, agricultural biology department, then the soil science department. So I wonder whether I have missed any of them. So we have 8 departments in the Faculty of Agriculture, and the strongest collection of teachers, the highest number of senior professors and the professors in the Faculty of Agriculture. So this is a very great strength for us. So a lot of these facilities are provided by this one, and also the boards of studies, the internal members of the boards of studies are nominated by the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya. So although the deans of the other faculties are involved, deans of the other faculties of other universities are involved in this whole process, the Faculty of Agriculture plays a huge role in appointing members for the Board of Management, appointing members for the boards of studies, the internal members, and the admin structure moves like that way as a postgraduate arm of the Faculty of Agriculture. Earlier, during like 1948, 49, up to like 1975, since the establishment of the Peradeniya University by the Ivo Jennings and the people, we tried to offer postgraduate degrees through the Faculty of Agriculture. Up to 1975, there was no PGIA. So we offered, tried to offer postgraduate degrees. There were 20 students registered for postgraduate studies during this whole period of time. That's how we started, and 5 graduated. And so the feeling was that we had the Department of Agriculture. Now we have more than Department of Agriculture. Now we have Department of Export Agriculture, then the plantation ministries and the assuming ministries. involved in agriculture. So many ministries are involved directly or indirectly in agriculture. So we wanted to cater to the needs. If there is a research officer in the Department of Agriculture, that person should have a PhD. So who is going to give them the PhD? If they don't have at least a master's or PhD, they will not do that level of innovative research or discoveries or coming up with patents. That level of research, like developing new hybrid varieties of rice, all these kind of things, the variety development for all these pathology or the diseases, how to prevent how to, stop the insect attacks and how to identify pests and all these kind of different things that we are doing. We need that training. We need that training. And that's called human resource development or manpower development or capacity building or different words people use. So they felt like we need an exclusive place. And so that's why under the University Sector number 16, they gazetted under the 16 is called PGIA ordinance. So under this ordinance, we formally established this one. At that time, the only agriculture faculty was in Peradeniya. Later, the second faculty started in University of Brunei in Mapala and Kamburupiti. And most of the teachers there were, from agriculture faculty Peradeniya, because there was no other way to get the degrees in agriculture. So we were the first, and that's how everything evolved. And so right now, then the courses were developed, MSc programs were developed to cover every aspect. So those MSc programs were offered or controlled or managed or administrated by we call the boards of study. Boards of study. Some people call it that board of studies, but it's really boards of study. So we have the agriculture biology board of study, and agriculture economics board of study, agri engineering board of study, agri extension board of study, animal science, biostatistics board of study, business administration board of study, crop science board of study, food science and technology, plant protection, soil science board of study. So you can see plant protection means all these diseases and pests and that aspect. So you can see how many different areas are covered, and almost everything is covered. The master's programs are offered within these boards of study. So right now we have about 30 master's programs. So if you go to each board, select the crop science board of study. Okay, of course, the basic degree program is the crop science degree. And then we have the floriculture. This is about the flowers and things, the floriculture and landscape architecture. It's also one of the very popular degree programs. The forestry degree program, we have several experts in forestry. The plantation crop management covers the plantation aspects like the tea, rubber, coconut mainly, and you can go to any other plantation like sugarcane and other things. The horticulture, goes into the vegetables and those in the tropical agriculture is a degree that is designed to offer for foreigners or somebody who is coming and trying to learn how from a temperate countries want to come and learn a cross section of tropical agriculture, what is happening. So this tropical agriculture course covers a cross section of all the agricultural types. So anybody can learn within 1 year what's happening in this kind of a tropical country. We have many courses developed within that one. So if you go to MSc in crop science, there are about 20, 30, 40 different courses that listed under the crop science. And you can take any of those courses. And so that's a huge collection of things. We had regular curriculum revisions and so that new MSc programs were coming in. Very recently, now we are offering called Ecology Master's Program. So this ag biology board study offers biotechnology. Biotechnology is a hugely favorite master's program, not only from the agriculture people, but if you allied health sciences, medicine, and working in a biotechnology lab in some places, like in a hospital or somewhere. So a lot of places they need this biotechnology subject. So not only agriculture, there are lots of different types of people come and do the biotech. The plant biology conservation and breeding, this is where we teach mainly focus on plant breeding, the new variety development, and field trials and how to develop those things. The statistics program was initiated by Professor R.O. Tatil. Many people know him as the person who came up with the Z-score or the Z score for the A-level. That's how he is quite famous for. So he's all-rounder, covering every aspect of the statistics field. So he was the pioneer in developing this one, and later became director of the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture. So we divided. I am also a part of that, and I also used to be a chairperson for Biostat board. They divided into, for the medical type of people who want to go more into the biological applications, they came up with a Biostat program, and for those who are more into mathematics and engineering type of aspects, they went to the applied stat program. So that's how we divided. There are some overlapping courses, but not 100%. So if you go to this plant protection, this one, they go into the plant protection technology, where they cover about the pathology and entomology. Entomology aspect talks about the insect pests mostly, and the molecular and applied microbiology. So these are essential areas. Recently we had this called Sena Dalambua, with this caterpillars time to time appear from the food products and agriculture products. They come to Sri Lanka. No matter how much we try to protect the country, still things are coming. And then it's a new pest or new disease. So our system is not ready for that one. Our system doesn't have predators, so anybody to attack them. So things get sometimes spread very quickly, and it takes time and we have to quickly find solutions for them. Other countries may have solutions, but those solutions are not in Sri Lanka. So our people do PhDs and master's degrees, and I'm happy to see like they evaluate all aspects of this entomology and things. I get to, as a director, I chair the thesis defense examinations for these research students, and so I get to see all their presentations. So you can see how many of our PGIA students are effectively contributing to these are truths, how much they are really coming up with new discoveries, innovations, and solutions to the burning problems in the field. It's really nice to see. So some people, want to come to PGIA or any other easier place to get a degree, because all they want is just a label, like MBA or MSc, or just a label. They just want not much of the knowledge. But for me, that is not what we are here for. I always tell these students, like, you selected this one wisely, and you took a major decision in your life, and forever, for the rest of your life, and you will be happy that you took that decision, especially if you get the degree. Usually, if you follow the degree properly, you don't fail. Even in the undergrad times, in the first years are scared that they will pass, but in your own undergraduate programs, what percentage of students really failed? When you look back, you feel like it is an unnecessary worry. If you really follow it, you will definitely pass. If you really follow, you will definitely pass. That was. And if you just are not really following, then there is nothing much the teachers can do If you don't have the knowledge, then there's nothing that the teachers can do. It's all up to you. For every master's program, we give 5 years for you to complete. So you can, even if you fail the first time, you have the chance to study again and get once your problems are over, you can come back and you can really concentrate and complete the program. So we want you to complete the program. So as I said, like for some people, it's just the label. It's like, many people, not the graduate level people, but riding the motorcycles, the motorbikes with 2 children and the wife and everybody day to day to work and everything. When you first start, riding the motorcycle or trying to get the license for motorcycle, you fall down. Of course, you fall. And then what happens? You try to get up and you try to, do this, and sometimes you are angry, sometimes upset, sometimes you are frustrated, because in the trial you have to do all these kind of little things, and even the bike is not yours, and it's difficult, and so sometimes you fail, sometimes you pass the second time. Somehow you get the license, and some people think, okay, I got the license. Now that's it. That's it. All I wanted is a license, and just to brag about that. I have a motorbike license. But I will never touch a motorbike again because I fell down and I have bad memories. No more motorbikes. But I have a license to show, in front of my cupboard or somewhere I can show. Is that what you want? Or you want to ride the motorbike? All these people, as I said, they ride the motorbike. The license is to ride the motorbike, not to just escape or do some gimmick or copy from the other people's things, exam papers, or do cheating and get the motorcycle license. Is that what you want, or you want to ride the motorbike? The more you ride the motorbike, the more you become familiar with the motorbike. The more you ride the car, you become familiar with the car. For me, I have followed agriculture engineering subjects, so I was practicing plowing fields with the tractors and reversing the tractors with the trailers. That was fun for us. For us, the education or learning is fun because once you learn something, I feel good. For example, during the undergrad times, I practiced driving a bus, and I am happy that I have a bus driving license. How many people can say I have a bus driving license? That gives me lifetime happiness. This is not about cheating or anything, but if you know something, you will be happy about yourself. And others will definitely respect you if you know something more than them. Even a bus driver, sometimes I have seen people go and talk to him when you go on a trip, because we appreciate that he drives and we cannot. Everybody in the back knows that they cannot drive like him. So we have this appreciation. He doesn't have a PhD, but we have that appreciation that he can do something that we cannot do. We don't even know that we appreciate, but we know that that's an amazing thing that he is doing. So like that, whenever you get a master's degree or something, this is just a license to work for the rest of your life. So if you are just wanting to use shortcuts, that means that you do not have the capability to use that knowledge in any kind of work, or when you are doing a presentation in front of entirely different groups of people. Maybe you are making a presentation in a bank sector somewhere. Your presentation should show that you have a master's. And the others, without the master's, so those things should not have that, or may not have that presentation skills, but you have, because you have seen so many presentations and you have done so many presentations during your master's programs. You know how to write even a report properly. Even your English, you can improve. This is your second chance, because all the courses are offered in English. So I know some people, like when they ask for an application or something, some request, student request, they cannot write a proper sentence in English. That is the truth. But this is a second chance. You are your own enemy, nobody else. You can learn. You have a lot of YouTube and other things now with you. The more you read, the better you get and the better you become. And when you become equipped better, then you become like army. Man, if you get more equipped and more equipped and more equipped, if you may become like a commander level or the special forces level. And the army people respect commanders and SF soldiers. That respect comes to you if you are genuinely good at it. For example, like if you are good at statistics, all these even the undergrads and all these research people in your own institute will come to you and say, "Yeah, whatever things, please help me with this one. I don't know studies," and they respect you. Once you have a degree, it's there forever. So don't try to run through the try to escape or through the ears of the teachers or something. Then try to think like, okay, the teacher didn't notice I did this, somehow I managed. But it's your own failure if you do not have the knowledge. Okay, let's say like you pay some money and get the motorcycle license, but you cannot ride the motorbike. Are you happy? Maybe you are happy, but is it productive? Is it useful? All these other poor people just ride the motorbike with sometimes 3 children, and you cannot. So try to do this one in a genuine manner. Try to manage your life. It's difficult now. Most of you are doing jobs, and it's difficult because sometimes some of you have children, and some of your home is far away from the family, and the weekends are the only times that you have some kind of a time to wash your clothes, prepare for this one, get the groceries and all these kind of things. And when you are doing master's courses during like 8 to 12, Saturday morning, 1 to 5 Saturday afternoon, sometimes even 5 to 7. And then Sundays, it becomes difficult. Learning becomes difficult, and some students think like, okay, somehow I will try to manage and I will learn later, but I will try to manage to survive these exams. That may not be the best thing to do. This is the best time for you to study, but you have to seriously plan your life. Very few people are full-time students here. So a lot of things that you are doing, they have difficulty during the weekends, and sometimes the teachers get frustrated because they come so much prepared and they are dedicated to their life. They're dedicated to their, they dedicate their whole life into these subjects, and because they feel they are the experts, they have PhDs, they are professors, senior professors like that. So they love this and they do their whole life of research with students after student after student, and in these explore these fields and doing all these kind of things. And they really love what they are doing, and they want similar dedication from you. And when you are not there for the lectures, it could be frustrating. But when you are there, when you're asking questions, when you're interacting with them, they love it. Don't think like they get intimidated. You cannot, you know, uh, you know, defeat them in their scientific discipline. For them, you with a basic degree, we call you as bachelors. Bachelors means unmarried people. Not no experience about children. So you have the Bachelor of Science. You have not even mastered the science, or you have not even come up with the new techniques. That's like a doctor who could prescribe things. Doctor of Science. So Doctor of Philosophy, D.Lit, Doctor of Literature. So that levels you are not there. Many of our teaching panel members have PhD students, and they have already ordered several PhDs. So you don't have to worry. You can ask any kind of questions. Questions are not stupid. Without asking questions, you cannot learn. So what is stupid part of it? Stupid part of it is not asking questions. So try to interact with these teachers. These teachers like to treat you as adults because you are adults and you are professionals. And so they like to maintain lifelong friendships with you. Sometimes we are invited to sign in for your weddings. And, you get the professional advice from them, the career guidance advices, and even counseling type of things. Our teachers always help you with those things. So if you try to find some time with them, they will always be helpful for you, always are concerned about you. And so when you come after them, they never ignore you. They always help you. If you are trying to escape from them, they will not come after you are trying to find like school children. You will be isolated by yourself. That's not what we want to do. Agricultural Extension Board of Study. Today, Agricultural Extension Board of Study will not have a meeting in the afternoon, but they will call you later. They have this organizational management course that's very popular. We call OM course, and this is called development, and they call DUCOM. And so many people, not only the agriculture people, but there are many other people who just do this OM course. That's about the teamwork and managing the situations, conflict resolutions, and communications, and so many important things that you learn to be successful in your field. Agricultural economics, the board of studies teach. We started with agricon, but then we developed environmental economics course and the natural resource management course. And these courses are very much this like NRM, we call it natural resource management. Many people like who are working with the land degradation and conservation in urban development, environmental impact assessment, like people come and follow Central Environmental Authority people, all these kind of different people come and follow this one, not only agriculture people, but some engineers and people from art subjects who are working in these fields come and follow these courses. They are usually full of people. The agricultural engineering ones, we talk about the farm machinery side and the hydrology, rainfall, erosion, runoff, soil conservation, the irrigation, all these things come under engineering one. So this integrated water resource management part always talk about the water resources, the irrigation structures, and the cascade systems in like Anuradhapura, Valave, and these different places, and the human and the resource management in these areas and the issues which related to water resources in those areas. So it's a really interesting area. This agriculture and biosystems engineering, nowadays we have the agriculture biology stream, the mathematical stream. And in the A-level, we have this biosystems stream. We know there are many students like in Jayawardhanapura. They even follow the first degree and like this biosystems engineering. And this is a great place for people to go to the master's level in biosystems engineering. And there are not many people follow the biosystems engineering. There are not many places or opportunities for students to follow master's level in biosystems engineering. This is the geoinformatics, the E is missing. The geoinformatics course, the GIS, and there are many people once again who want to follow the GIS. Even doctors. Yeah, there are people like some students are there like some who are in malaria prevention schemes, and they want to know which areas in Sri Lanka whether they can map. Yeah, there is so many. The malaria patients are there, and or the dengue, and in some places there are fever. How can you map the whole situations like this? And this geoinformatics tools help you even map like the cattle populations So the goat populations, where they are dense and where they are low. And they talk about using the satellite images about the forest covers and so many different things. It's a fun, useful one, not only for agriculture people, but for geology, geography, the landscape people. So there are forestry or this kind of different people, even fisheries. Different people can, even the economics people or the social development people can map or study the whole country or an area based on like the hazard analysis and all these vulnerabilities and all those things you can learn using these tools. Business administration, people sometimes ask why PGIA is doing the business administration, because we have people with PhDs in business administration. Agriculture is business. Agriculture is business. Agriculture, if you have a poultry or broiler farm, it's cost benefit, and then it's a business. The egg price fluctuations, the meat price fluctuations, the feed price fluctuations, everything is business. If you are doing a full-time agriculture, and that's the fertilizer costs, and all these things are business. So there's we call agri-businesses also. There, if you go to the industry level, you can see huge agri-businesses there. And so the agribusiness management is and the business management, the administration is, maybe 95% overlapping. Our MBA program was one of the pioneers, one of the first business administration programs in the country. We started about 20 years ago, these programs. So at that time, there were not many people were offering business administration, maybe one or two. Now, of course, we have so many business administration people, but this one is one of the good and the tough ones. It goes for 2 years, for 4 semesters, and so those who come here know that this is the best, one of the best places to learn business administration. I am from the Faculty of Agriculture, Department of Animal Science initially. So the director term is for 3 years, and you can apply again and go through national competition and go for another chance of becoming the director. So this is my 6th year now, and probably the last student orientation that I am doing, because we want to give the chance to some other people to get the chance. Then I will go back to the Department of Animal Science as a professor. And we offer in the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Dehradun. We have a main one, that the initial one we offered was MSc in Animal Science, that covers cattle, goats, pigs, sheep, whatever the poultry, the fish and everything. But then we developed the aquaculture. This one we called Aquatic Resource Management and Aquaculture. And that degree program we go, the NACDA, National Aquatic Development Agency. With a lot of people from NACDA and the fisheries and people, NARA, that is the research institute dedicated for fisheries. And many people like those come and do the aquaculture, aquatic resource management and aquaculture degree. The poultry science and technology, the main group of people who are following this are from the private sector companies. If you go to supermarket and look at the products, you may see like CIC chicken, Maxi chicken, Baira chicken, Elna chicken, Prima chicken, Pussal, Maxis. So many different products. I apologize if I didn't mention anybody's name. I'm not supposed to tell private company names. I'm not here for advertisement. But just to give an example so that you know the type of different poultry companies there. The top level people are almost all of them have masters in poultry science from the PGIA. So we are quite proud of them. They do a lot of lab research and things, and even product development like sausage and all these different kinds of meat-based products. That is what we do in this dairy and meat technology. So these dairy products like cheese making, curd, yogurt, flavored drinks with liquid milk, flavored milk products, the sausages, the hamburger, the bacon, meatballs, so many different types of meat products, the smoked meat and all these different types of products they learn through the dairy and meat technology. So most of these people are also from industry. So you can see this the wide variety of student group that we have. The soil sciences, the environmental soil sciences is so much popular. The soil microbiology is another one that is popular. And some of these people, like professional soil microbiologists, want to do masters and PhDs in this one. These numbers are not very high because these are mostly professionals engaged in soil and in the government sector or the private sector, mostly the government sector. So in the government sector means like not only the agriculture departments and the export agriculture and this plantation and everything. There are research institutes also in Sri Lanka, like Tea Research Institute is dedicated for tea in Talawakele. We have the Rubber Research Institute dedicated in the Darton field, Agalawattu. We have the Coconut Research Institute in Bandiripur, Lumile area. We have the Sugarcane Research Institute in Udawalawe, in the Amblipiti area. And there are many that kind of institutes. There's a Veterinary Research Institute in Gannur. There are horticultural research institute. There are the Rice Research Institute in so many places, like mainly in Battalagoda, that is between Kurnagal and Dambul. But they have this Labudu culture, all these other Mailupalam, all these other, we have the research station, Abunagal. So many different research stations are there. If you go to Nuarelia side, Sita area, we have this the research stations for like potato and that kind of crops. If you go to foreign area, we have this like a fruit research institute. All these places, if you go and see, they are PGIA students and PGIA graduates. It is best that you know all of them. I know it's difficult, but imagine if you know all of them. When you become like assistant director, and higher level, when you go up your ladder, when you want to get something done from any of these institutes, if you visit them and first ask them whether they are anybody from PGIA, and they will be your friends, and they will chat with you and help you. In Sri Lanka, this network building is the key, the best way to get your, anything done easily from this kind of people. Even policy development planning or any kind of a national discussion forum, after the forum, if you meet together, you can ask who are there from PGI. And there will be people and there will be a lot of stories to share. And you will become friends and then you will become productive. So you can see like all these different kinds of things you do and the strengths that we have. Every year we have about 300, 350 people graduating. Last couple of years, we had difficulty because of the COVID restrictions. Our students could not go to some of them could not go to their fields and do the research. And then the problem came and the QR codes came, like that means like you cannot go from Rajini to Hambantota to visit your field and come back, because and come back part, the QR code is not enough. So this kind of issues were there for us, but the students survived. So many of, if you go to like Batalaguri Rice Research Institute or Mahilupallam, field crop research station, all those places, you will see plenty of PGIA students and PGIA graduates. So we will try to organize these days. Very difficult to organize things because of high cost and everything, but we usually organize like a field day. We call PGIA day. Yeah, you can all meet these people together. And even if you graduate, try to contribute to the alumni association. You can see like we have been here for how many years now, and you can see like how many graduates maybe we had earlier. So some of them are abroad. So even if you're planning to go abroad, like New Zealand, Australia, Canada, or somewhere, try to see whether there are people from PGIA, try to see people from PGIA, and you will become friends and they will help you. It's called network building. So don't just think like online is good and you just come and you stay near the kitchen of your house and just you think you are alone. That is one purpose. Okay, following the lectures is one purpose. Building network is very useful for you. You can learn a lot of things. So where are you? You are the school, the student group. Right now we have about close to 1,700 students. You don't see them very much because, as I said, they are in different places, engaged in research and then following the master's courses and in fields and PhDs. And we have this teaching panel group. And this teaching panel, as I said, are not only from Peradini, they are from almost all universities. People are contributing to us. If you go to Jaffna University or Kilinachi, the agriculture faculty, and you see how many graduates, starting from the dean of the faculty to the heads of the department downwards, almost all the staff members have done masters or undergraduates or masters or PhDs at the PGIA or the faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya. So we have this huge pedigree. So all these people and the industry people and from the government and even NGOs, and then from the industry, the freelance people, the retired people from the universities, they are all in the teaching panel. The teaching panel does not have an age group. So many of the seniors, the professors, the emeritus professors, the people who retired from the universities, and they are free in the weekends, and they love to be with the students, hang out with the students, have a cup of tea in between, in the middle of the lectures, and chat with them, mentor them, give guidance, crack jokes, and help them out with these kind of things. So they become lifelong friends, and all of these people are in our teaching panel. So it's a really nice group of people. If you want to use them for the benefit of you, this is the opportunity. So since we have this 30 master's program, somebody has to decide who is going to teach this semester, who is going to teach next semester, what is the timetable, and how the activities are planned, how the examinations are planned, whether marks are submitted properly, and if there are student issues that we need to discuss, add drop of courses, so many things that the admission issues, the leave issues, so many things that we have to control. The administration side is done by the board of study. So the board of study means, like if you go to the one board of study, like a biostatistics board of study, you have internal members and external members. So internal members means the group that was nominated by the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya. That's why I said like they have a special role here. And then we can take some expert from the industry, government sector, and other things in the similar ones. Like, for example, when you have the board of study in biostatistics, we have sometimes the director general from the Department of Census and Statistics in Colombo coming as an external member. Sometimes the director general of the agriculture department comes as the member. Sometimes the director general of the Department of Export Agriculture comes as a member in these teaching panels and contribute. Sometimes the companies, the private companies, the top bosses are there in these boards of studies. So they are helpful for like recruiting people and even the issues. Sometimes they bring certain issues and of the industry for consideration, and sometimes they bring their administrative experience, and sometimes they contribute for, give ideas for developing new courses and things to make our students, suitable for the industry, to face the challenges of the industry. All this, we have the board of study meetings like once in 2 months. So when the students send the request, they usually send the request to the director. The director put it to the board of study, and the board of studies usually meet in about 2 months. Sometimes your decision can get little delayed, because if you had the board of study just today, and if you submit your request tomorrow, sometimes director can decide, but sometimes director has to discuss with the board of study and decide, and then it will be placed in the board of study, and the board of study just had a meeting now. So next meeting may be 2 months later. So there could be some delays. So you have to plan ahead and submit your request. Then from the board of studies, we have 11 board of studies. 11 board of studies should coordinate with each other. They should not make different kinds of decisions, different kind of rules, different kind of regulations, different kinds of exemptions, different kind of favorizations. They should not have. So we have this coordinating committee. All these chairpersons and the secretaries of the boards, 11 boards, get together, and all of the minutes of this board of study meetings are tabled in one place, and they discuss, and sometimes they discuss about the changing the rules and regulations in favor of the students. They share the experiences and the problems with their own boards of study and see like whether to come up as common decisions as PGIA about the student requests and things. So those things are discussed here. 22 members are there in the coordinating committee because 11 boards are there. Each board has a chairperson and secretary. So all your requests will be handled by the chairperson and secretary, and you can contact them. I will show you the names and the numbers. Always you can talk to them. The coordinating committee decisions finally go to the board of management. We have a huge board of management, just like a council of the university. Actually, we have a bigger group than the council of the university. The council of the university has about like 7-8 deans, or maybe 3-4 deans, and a matching number of people from outside. Like if you have 4 deans, usually you have 5 people coming from outside into the council. And so board of management ours have about 35 members. Can you believe? That means like all the agriculture deans of the universities in Sri Lanka, except I think lesser. The dean is not yet included in this one. All the other agriculture deans are there, or the Department of Agriculture Director General, Export Agriculture Director General, the Conservator General of Forest, the Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Secretary of the Ministry of Irrigation, Secretary of the Ministry of Mahavali, and then the representatives from the General Treasury, Ministry of Higher Education. All these people are there. So huge group of people are there. The director of the council, or the chairperson of the council, Sri Lanka Council for Agriculture Research Policy. Then the Tea Research Institute, Coconut Harbour Research Institute, the directors. So the huge group of people are there. Because they help, even the Director General of the Department of Animal Production and Health, where all the government veterinary surgeons are under the DAPH. So when they come here, so their grievances and their issues, scholarships, all these things are handled by these people. So all the research institutes are covered, the departments are covered because of this board of management. So all these PGIA students who are professionals in these areas, their bosses are in the board of management. Once these decisions are made about graduations and examinations and all those things, they go to the Senate. So what happens is like then from the Senate, it get approved, then it goes to the University Council. And the UGC is about there, but the council approves and council can award the degrees. So usually what happens is like once you follow all the MSc courses, there's a component called guided independent study or directed study. And that's like a 6-month research component. You can do it in the second semester with the other people. You can even start in the first semester. A research component. It's like similar to like a final year research project. The final year research project in some undergraduate programs are 6 months, and you can follow that kind of program. And you have to make a presentation, and the supervisor and the presentation panel of examiners give marks. Finally, when everything is ready, you have something called comprehensive examination, where like 5 members, 2 external, 3 internal. 5 members will sit together and ask questions from you. So these different questions you will have to answer, and then only you get the degree. Then the board of study approves. It doesn't go to the board of study. Once the comprehensive is done, we send the results to the board of management, and the board of management meets once again about every 2 months we meet, and then the results goes to the Senate. Senate meets every month, and then results go to the council, and then you go down the aisle convocation. That's how the place is. You don't have to come to convocation, but you will get the degree. So right now, if you go to the agriculture biology, if you want these names, please write down these names. Some of these I have said like doctor, but they are not doctor. They have, since this presentation was made, they have promoted to the professor level, like Professor Chandrika Peri. And Dr. Nibini Sirimalvat is the secretary. And you can contact them and ask about your own issues. You will be meeting them this afternoon. Agicon probably will be not be meeting them. Maybe I think you are meeting them today. Yes, you are meeting. Ag Extension you are not meeting today, but others you are meeting today. Professor Pahan Prasad, Dr. Sinha, there will be others in the board also talking to you at 1:30. Professor Damidayavan these days is in USA, I think. But I think Professor Maujud will, and Professor Sanat Tamartunga and others are there. They will help you at 1:30. You can ask any kind of questions. Don't be, bashful. Don't stay like a school child. You can always develop this culture of asking questions from people, and that will help everybody to understand. Otherwise, you will be doing a mistake. Chandani Jayawardhan and Dr. Anuradha Adya and Animal Science Professor Deshapriya and Dr. Jampati will talk to you. Business administration, there won't be any meeting because their timetables are different and they have already started their programs. And crop science, you will meet Professor Janaki is a senior person, and Dr. Samantha Disayanaike. So please take down these numbers. These are useful for you. The food science and technology, we had a meeting yesterday, and they are ready to accept you and talk to you today. Mr. Arampat, and this is Professor Niranjan Rajapaksa will be talking to you. The Plant Protection Board, write down the name, Professor Devika Di Costa. Devika Di Costa, very senior person. And earlier it was Professor Him Chandra. Now Secretary is Dr. Vikram Jayasinghe. And they are very helpful, and they will talk to you and get to know where you are from and what you are doing, what your intentions are, and what are your job responsibilities, why you wanted to follow this MSc course, and then you can ask questions as well. Soil science, we have Professor Udevi Tarana and Dr. Diminda Naik. So they are also very helpful. Professor Udevi Tarana and this group are running the National Sri Lanka Soil Science Society of Sri Lanka. So they are the leaders, they are like the president and others. So all these people are nationally known leading figures in Sri Lanka. Especially these chairpersons, they have been like presidents of different national associations. They are in national committees, policy planning things. They are in different stakeholder groups, workshops. They have conducted hundreds of different workshops from farmer level to school teacher level to school children level to consumer level to NGOs, the government sector, and all these kind of things. So they organize sometimes 1 month long programs, sometimes 1 week long programs, a lot of short courses, a lot of training programs. So these people are experts in their field. So don't hesitate to ask any kind of question from them. The more you interact with them, more you get benefited. You will learn how to think, how to look at an issue in the scientific manner, or in your own field, or in general. A lot of experience you can get by interacting with them. So some people become lifelong friends of these teachers and people. I have been invited to many weddings, and sometimes too many. Sometimes it is very costly to go to some wedding. Sometimes I have to sign, because for them I am probably the biggest person they have ever met, or closest to them, and give genuine blessings to their married life. So all kinds of things are happening with us. We have somebody called thinkers, and The temporary lecturers and senior lecturers, some of them have PhDs, like Dr. Harshini has a PhD from Kalani, and Ms. Suyama has a master's, and Ishan has a master's. So all these people, Ms. Naini has a first class degree. So all these people try to write down their cell numbers and don't call them at midnight. That is kind of unfair. And don't crack jokes on them saying that you are beautiful or any kind of things. We have seen 1% of the students are doing some unnecessary things, and that may not be required or tolerated. But always these numbers, please take down these numbers. Some students I know record this my presentation. That's okay. Some students use the cell phone and take like the screen prints or the photographs of these pages. That is also okay, no problem. Try to develop the WhatsApp groups. Once you start this one, try to develop your own group and become interactive with each other. When you are in the class, you usually automatically happens that way because you are in trouble together. And so after the class, sometimes you go to have a cup of tea in the PGIA canteen together. So you have a lot of interactions with them about homeworks, team, group work, assignments and things. But then you will get to know these people personally. Ms. Suyama may not stay with us for a long time. She's going for PhD in Australia. So she may be here only for like 1 month, and we need to find a replacement for her. We cannot keep people serving here forever. They have to do their postgraduate studies as well. And so they naturally have to do, she already has master's, so naturally have to go to their PhDs. So we should not stop them, and we should bless them to go to the higher and higher and higher, and we help them. So for this month, you can talk to Ms. Suyama, but after that, this name will change. So we have these people. So according to your own board study, try to write down the name and the number and the email, and communicate with them all the time. You can, if you think you should not call them at night, send a text message, I think, so that whenever they can, they will send a reply back, or they might even call you. Just say who you are, and just don't imagine that they know you. They don't know you. So many of our students' communication is very, very poor. They cannot, some of them cannot write a sentence in a comprehensive manner, and we don't know what their real request is. So try to communicate and try to be calm and patient because we are in Sri Lanka. We all want to help you, but sometimes the procedural delays can be there. For example, if you come here to pay your post fee at 4 o'clock, the banks, the PGIA, the shop counter may be closed because we have to send all the money to the bank, by 3:30. So these kind of things can happen. So you always can call and ask. Even if you have complaints, you can, there are in the website, if you go to the PGIA website, there are places you can put your online grievances and the complaints, and we can talk. We used to have a PGIA coordinator, a person, so that person is usually a graduate from our own, and that person usually, answer 100 calls in a day. That person also went for PhD, and when we tried to take new people, the government regulations were that the government sector should stop recruiting new people due to this financial crisis thing. So we had to stop, but now we are advertising and trying to get them back. So these days, the country is in a really bad situation. The taxes and the price hikes and all these things are there. It's tough for everybody, not only you, it's tough for everybody. So before shouting or before criticizing, Please understand the others also are in pain. Others also may have a lot of issues. And some of these things, even like PGIA or the university, we want to do certain things, but this government circulars do not let us do those things. And so we have to abide by those things. Let's say like we want to buy 100 computers, so we want to build solar panels on the top of the PGIA. When the government circular says don't go into any kind of a capital structure investment, we have to stop. Frustrating, yes. That's the name of the game. When you play a test match, the first day pitch is different from the last day pitch. You have to adapt. The last day pitch, the ball may spin more than the first day pitch. If you don't adapt, you get out. So management is managing the change. You plan, of course you have a plan, but your plan most of the time will never work, because in the morning you plan, you come to work and you get some other thing done. Always things change, always new things come out. Situations change, the platform changes, the background changes, and we have to adapt. We have to adapt. We have to adapt. People ask Mike Tyson, the boxer, whether he has a plan when he wants to fight a real tough opponent. He says, yes, I have plans, we practice, but the whole plan goes out of the window when I get the first hit. After getting the first hit, it's a totally different thing. But the people like Muhammad Ali, like people, always learn, and those who learn quickly come out as winners. That's the name of the game. So please don't get frustrated that your plans don't work. Please understand you need a plan, but always plan should be there, but you should be able to adapt. Like when you're playing chess with somebody, every time you start with a new opening, but according to the way the other person plays, your plan has to change. There's nothing you can do. That's the name of the game. And those with the master's level knowledge and things, it's not only the subject knowledge, we teach how to live the life. When I first went to Iowa State University, I went to the Senate building, like a big hall was there. This was like 30, 40 years ago. And it says, we teach you how to live a life. And I didn't understand that when I was young. And I understood how to live. And how to spend a life, yeah, I understood. How to live a life, that I thought it is too many words. How to live, enough. How to live a life. Why? How to live a life? Of course, we are living a life, what else? And later I understood we are not really living a life, a full-fledged, full-level life that we must have. We are all screwing up our life based on our own decisions and others' decisions, and unknown things coming up, and how to live a decent life. Is our life where we want it to be? Have we achieved all our fulfillments, all our targets, all our goals, our happiness? Sometimes happiness is more important than all the wealth and other things. Santupting paramandana. So are you happy? Will you be happier after getting MSc degree? I was so happy after getting my PhD degree. We had 24,000 students graduating at the Iowa State University, and the hall was not enough. We put them in the football field. All the 24,000 chairs. In the PhDs, we had 256 PhDs garlanding. And the top 10 PhDs were given research excellence awards. And I was so happy to be the Sri Lankan there in that. top 10 group. So it was great. All these 24,000 students are on the football ground, and on the stands there were about 50,000 or 100,000 parents are watching, and they want these top 10 people to stand up. So that was the highlighted moment. You can be happy about you. I think that is so important. And they give some special code, something to wear on the top of your PhD cloak. That was an amazing thing. You did it. You can do it. All of you can do PhDs. Nobody is stopping you. Of course, nobody is stopping the car, but the car has to go through these mud patches. Okay, mud patches. We have a lot of friction, but nobody is stopping you. Nobody is stopping you, but there are hurdles, obstacles. Everything depends on you. The lifelong learning. Some of my classmates are 75 years old. There's no stopping. Why you stop? You can always learn. So you can always have that feeling. Some people say the good teachers inculcate lifelong interest in learning, not escaping with your degree, saying that, okay, I'm done, let's get out. No, they inculcate the lifelong interest in the subject and in the learning and in the living a life. Yeah, you can be proud of. Lot of students, the problem right now is the money. Some of our fresh graduates, and they cannot ask for more money from the people, especially with this new tax structure. Everybody above 18 years of age must open a tax file. All these things are going on. However, in the MSc programs are like 150,000, sometimes 175,000, like that one. You can pay, and you can let me take this one out for the moment, just to concentrate on what I'm saying, and then I will show the numbers. So many, if you can pay the whole 150,000 upfront, it helps the PGIA immensely. Otherwise, if it goes to the next year, we have the annual financial statements, annual reports to be made, and we have 50 students, but 25 have paid. Another 25 we are waiting. So they have paid half, and we are waiting for the next half next year. And coming up with this accounting and other things, quite a nightmare with the ongoing situations. So it is really good that if somebody can pay. So we have a rule. If somebody can pay 150,000, the total amount upfront, or 175, or whatever the amount upfront, you get a 10% discount. So 10% of 150,000 is 15. 10% of 150,000 is 15,000 you get back. So you only have to pay 135,000. But if you pay in installments, like 2 installments or 3 installments, we don't let you go into 12 installments or 25 installments. We cannot run an institute like that with 2,000 students, with the government auditors looking at it. The treasury members don't let us play like that. And the chief accountant of the Ministry of Education is in our finance committee, so they don't let us play like that way. Like, just on your way home, you pay, that kind of things you cannot do. So there are like 2 installments or maximum 3 installments you have to discuss and pay. And some students have difficulty. So we were trying to think like how to come up with student loans. And student loans are also sometimes difficult. So we talked to the credit card companies, and so they came up with their own schemes. We said, no, we cannot do that kind of things. You talk to your general management in Colombo and come up with a process. We want our PGIA student to have credit cards free of charge, no interest, 0 interest, you must give. And they said no. Obviously, they will say no. So we came up with this idea. You know the idea? Now we have interest-free credit cards for PGIA students. Just tell that you are a PGIA student, and they will give you the credit card. Sometimes they may want to see that you have. Okay, if you want a letter or if you want any credentials, we can give. So we will give you the numbers. So you talk to them and get the credit card. What is the deal with the credit card? Once you get the credit card, from the credit card, you can pay it as an upper limit. That is about 150,000 to 200,000. That is actually to be used for PGIA purpose only. Of course, you can use it to buy vegetables, but don't do that. Nobody will kill you if you do that, but it will add extra economic burden onto the credit card. Usually, it is like 150 or 200,000 maximum limit. What you do is like you pay the full amount upfront using the credit card. So PGIA is happy that you gave the full amount, so we don't have to go after you, trying to call you or find you. Are you existing? Are you have gone abroad? Or are you still following the course? Are you still a student? We don't have to go behind you because the full amount has been paid. So PGIA is happy, the account branch is happy, easier to make the financial account. And what about you? Okay, you pay like in 24 installments, maybe 12 installments, up to you. So divide the 150,000 into 24, you will be getting a very small amount, right? It means like 150,000 divided by 24. Your amount comes to 6,250. So monthly, you pay 6,250. I think most people can do that. So please seriously consider about this option rather than delaying and delaying the payment. Delaying and delaying the payment means you will not be able to come to register for the semester. Without payment, we cannot let you register because we are working with government money. It is not PGIA money, it is the consolidated fund of the government, belongs to the treasury. Although under the PGIA account, that money is not belongs to the PGIA. So everything you pay goes to the government. And so 6,250, I think anybody can pay. So all of you, if you buy the credit card facility, then you can pay the PGIA amount full, and you can slowly pay these amounts based from your income, whatever. If you don't have an income, maybe the parents can still pay 6,250 monthly. If you pay more, then of course the installment becomes smaller. So how do they give the credit cards interest-free? So we told them this one. So let's say like a bank, let's say like a HNB. So the HNB is there. So HNB, so you get the credit card from them. So HNB pays the PGIA 150,000 upfront to us. So now you have this 150,000 bill. You are paying monthly, but you have this 150,000 bill. So HNB pays us 150,000 directly. So we say, okay, great. So we give you a 10% discount because this is now very easy for the PGIA. Thank you very much. We give you the 10% discount. So we give you the 10% discount. So 15,000 rupees as a discount. You are not eligible for that discount because you are not paying everything upfront. You are paying monthly. You are paying monthly 6,250. So the bank gets that. So you essentially pay monthly installments 150,000. Bank gives us 135,000, and bank keeps 15,000. And we told them, that is your interest. Don't ask anymore. Discuss with your general management and give us a solution. And they said, okay. Some said no, but they said, okay. So please take down these numbers. Please don't tell that you don't have money to pay or anything, like dragging on. You can contact any of them. Some of you may already have Sampath bank accounts. I am not promoting anything like one bank or the other or something. Actually, we talk to many banks, but these are the banks whose general management, the board agreed, to pay. So I will give you a minute for you to take down these numbers and talk to them. I know today there will be many people talking to Mr. Lini or Samanthi or Achila. Very recently, we contact all these people. Even yesterday, we contacted all these people and told them and warned them there will be a big group of students calling you now that I should give them their numbers. It's not 815 may not work during weekends. Don't know, but the other numbers will. So talk to them and see whether you are before doing anything, before downloading anything, just tell what you want to do and how you are going to apply. So to go to this bank or talk to these people and see like how you can apply for this credit card. If you need a letter from PGIA, we can give you a letter. So get this thing and try to get registered. Make the payment. Once you make the payment, then you can really get into the MIS. Otherwise, we cannot let you get the MIS account and the password. Once you pay and get those things, the PGIA computer unit will put you the email number. We take your email number and working phone number. Please give one email that you use. Some students have 5 emails and they only check 2. Please don't do that. Please just give us one email. Actually, what we are planning to do now in the future is to give you a separate email. We are planning to do that one. That email is, let's say your name is Achala or something, or we put your registration number, let's say like 23022 is your registration number. So we say PGIA 22033 and at pgia.ac.lk. So you all will have a Gmail. That's a Gmail setup that we have. We have the G Suite and the Gmail setup, so that it is easier to come up with group emails. Like if I want to send the agriculture economics group of students, I can have this group email, agriconet23@pgia.ac.lk. So when I send it, it goes to all of you, and you can respond to that one and all the messages about the PGIA, all the webinars, all the short courses, all the announcement, all the cancellation of lectures, everything will go into that one. Then you will be given a password to open it up and everything. If you do not want to use that account because you have too many accounts and you have one other favorite account, you can go to your PGIA account, email account, and go to the top and you can forward it. Say automatically forward all my PGIA emails to my favorite Yahoo or Google account. So that everything that we send to you, all the notices we send to you about webinars and presentations, about progress presentation meetings, and even some parties or even some retirement things or cancellations, news, all these different things will go into your the PGIA account, and from PGIA account it will automatically go to your favorite account, so that all the junk email, whatever thing will come to your favorite account, and so that you will not miss it. But we will not be using your different accounts in the future because some people say like, sir, I don't use my Yahoo account anymore, and that kind of things become difficult. So that is the basic situation. So please, we will arrange these things. Please don't say, so I didn't know. It's easier to say I didn't know. It is easier to say I didn't know because you are alone at home. So you need to come up with this, at least a WhatsApp group, make a group of people today afternoon when you meet with your Bodo study members, discuss with each other during the discussion time, discuss with each other who is going to create. You must have a natural leader who is going to create that WhatsApp group so that the teachers' names also can be there. So the classroom allocations, cancellations, everything you can discuss with them. Okay, so I have taken about 2 hours now during this one. I think I started at 10:30 and 12:30. So let me quickly finish because you have the programs. The afternoon session starts at 1 o'clock. So let me finish talking about this one. We have something called the master's degree programs. Now we have Sri Lankan qualification framework. According to the qualification framework, they have divided the 1 year MSc and the 2 year MSc. The 2 year MSc is called MSc, Master of Science. For example, Master of Science in Biotechnology. The 2 year one means 1 year coursework and 1 year research. After the coursework, you have to have a concept paper and about your research, and you have to develop your research program, and then you have to present and get that approval. Then only you can start the research component. But the coursework component usually there are 2 semesters, but minimum you can finish it in 1 year, or maximum you are given 5 years to finish. You have to do 25 credits plus 5 credit guided independent study or directed study, that research component that you have to do. For all those things, you are given 5 years, but you can finish anytime. Minimum it will take 1 year. It is called Sri Lankan Qualification Framework Level 9. So for the MSc coursework and research, you have the 1 year for coursework, 1 year for research, but you can take maximum of 6 years. 30 credits. 30 credits of coursework and 1 year research. Not 25 credits, 30 credits of coursework and 1 year research. All these groups, after finishing the coursework, you have to sit for a comprehensive exam. We will talk about that one actually as the time goes on. And you have to complete the comprehensive exam. That is the end date of your degree program. MPhil means totally by research for 2 years and maximum of 7 years. PhDs are usually like minimum 3 years and maximum 8 years. That is level 10. We have MBA coursework, and that is 9, level 9, and MBA coursework and research is 10. DBA is the Doctor of Business Administration. That is like equivalent to PhD. It's also level 10, 12. Same standard. Postgrad diploma is only 25 credits. No need of doing a research. That is below this level. It is level 8, but above the bachelor's level. Above the bachelor's. So you can always, by doing this coursework part, you can always go to coursework and research. So you can register for coursework and research, and then you can upgrade it to MPhil or even to PhD. And you can come back later also. If you don't want to do the PhD, you can come down. You can request to downgrade to MPhil and to MSc, or even down. You can go up and forth. What I'm asking you to do is like, let's say this one is 150,000 rupees is the cost. Then for the research, there will be another 1 lakh. So it will be 150 plus 1 lakh, so 250,000. Don't pay the whole 250,000 upfront. Don't pay the 250,000 upfront, because later, just pay 150,000. Just pay 150,000. If you are doing coursework and research, just pay 150,000. As the whole thing proceeds, after developing the concept paper, after getting accepted, and when you start your research component, then if the research is really going, then you can pay that extra 100,000. The reason is, if you pay 250,000 and if you want to downgrade to coursework only, then usually student ask for that extra 100,000 back. They ask the extra 100,000 back, and they cannot get it because once that money goes to the treasury, we cannot give it back to you. So a lot of students get frustrated because they paid this extra 100,000, and the ministry and the treasury doesn't let us give it back to you. So don't pay that until you are sure. So pay 150,000 just like these students. And once your research component is really ready and going, and if you have, when you have enough money to do research and everything, then pay that one. Because a lot of students register for this one, and later in the middle they say, I want to come down and ask the money back, and we cannot give the money back. So that's a huge problem. So that is the main thing that I want to tell. So otherwise you can always come back and go. So usually we have the prerequisite courses now. So we are starting the prerequisite courses. So now 24th July we will start. It will go for 5 weeks. So usually like basic mathematics, basic statistics, and different boards of study have different prerequisite courses. Please check whether you have to do these courses. If you have any issue, discuss in this afternoon whether you have this issue. So please check with them whether you have this issue. And when you register, then the first semester starts in August, and usually it goes for about 4 weeks, like 16 weeks is the regular period that you can finish the courses, because 15 weeks is the true academic semester. 15 weeks. So add drop period is there if you want to. So in the beginning, you can add new courses, drop new courses using the MIS. If you go further, then you then the MIS will close. Then you have to ask a special request. For example, once you finish the final exams, and if you do final exam bad, you cannot drop the course. You cannot drop like that, and you have to drop early. The second semester is planning to begin on 8th January 2024, and we'll go to. So there are compulsory courses that you have to finish, usually like about 20 credits. Out of these 25 are usually compulsory. You have to do those things. Then you have a choice of other courses, and from them you can select 5 or 6 or 7. You can do more than 25, no problem. You can do more than 25, but you need that minimum 25. So you have to do the online registration and MIS. This part will be discussed by Mr. Hemijit, our system analyst. Our system is like A is 4 points, A minus 3.7, B plus is 3.3, B is 3, up to C, and then F. So you have to get above C in all the courses. You cannot leave with F grade. You need to get at least C. If you get an F grade, you can register again, and you will get a grade, but you will not be able to get an A grade. Next time, you will get a maximum of B grade. In the end, you may have all these different grades. Average equal to grade point average. Average must be above 3 to get MSc. Above 2.75, you can get postgraduate diploma. If you get below that, below 2.75, you get nothing. Then you have to, if you get like a lot of C pluses, C pluses, C pluses, and average is below, then you cannot graduate. You have to do this again and convert them into Bs. Convert them into the other situation. When you do the second time, maximum you get is B. So you have to get rid of these things and get the Bs. If average is there, then C is okay. If your average is above 3, then having C is okay. Cannot have F. We have the student request form, so you can submit online or you can come here to the PGIA and fill this form. Why we have this form is because people don't even write their contact number. So we have this form, so you can put the name, your registration number, what board study you are in, what degree, MSc, MPhil, what program you are in, then how do we contact us, then tell us your problem, and put your signature and the date, and give it to the PGIA, to the director. So all requests should be made in this form, and you can send a copy to the secretary, but you can send it to the director. So this form is available in this PGIA website. You go to www. Today you can go to www.pgiaclk and go to this files, student information, and all these things are there. So just go to this PGIA website and go to this student part, and you can find all this information you can download. Okay. If you need any of those things, I'm just trying to wind up my presentation now because we need about half an hour for lunch before the 1 o'clock arrangement. So the student handbook has all the information about the rules, regulations, and everything. This handbook is in the web. So you can go to the PGIA website and find the student handbook. There's another one called, so this is the student handbook. It's big. And then you have the prospectus, which is very colorful with all the information about different boards of studies and these things about different programs. This is for outsiders to get an idea. Once you are a student, you need to know about the rules and regulations, make up exams, and re-registrations and ad drop and everything. All the information is there. So that is the thing. So if you miss an exam or something, you need a valid medical certificate. You have to bring a medical certificate. You have to get it from the DMO or consultant medical specialist. Don't bring the Ayurveda certificates and other things. Bring a certificate from the Western medicine. Then only you will get like a makeup exam and get a proper grade. Otherwise, you will get a repeat grade. So private medical practitioners, once we consider under exceptional circumstances, but we send it to the university health center and they have to approve. So we need these medicals. So these are the names and things, the essential names for the of the contact persons. Mr. Damnukola is our deputy registrar. He is a graduate of the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya with MBA. So system analyst is our Hemjit. He will talk to you tomorrow. So this email is dr@pgiaclk. If you want to contact with me, it's DIR. DIR is for director. DR is for deputy registrar at PGIA. At PGIA. Everything is at PGIA. Mr. Kumar is the one usually you are talking to in the administration branch. Ms. Takshila is also working in that branch, so she helps you with the board study matters. Course coordinator, we do not have one now, but this is the number, and this cell number is no longer valid because this person went for PhD. Tomorrow you will talk to Hemjit, and so you can keep these numbers down there and talk to them. You can take a screenshot and we can move. So I want to stop here. So it's now your responsibility. Most of you are doing jobs, having children, families, having to travel, then family issues, all these things are there. We have discussed. So now, Saturdays and Sundays, mostly you will have classes. Sometimes you may have weekday nights, online classes. You need to get organized. Extra burden now. Understand the PGIA system, culture, how things work. Please read the student handbook and guidelines. Don't say like, I didn't know. Don't say, I assume. Don't say, I thought. Don't say those things because those things don't work. So within the student section of the PGIA website, all the information is there. So learn about the calendar of dates and everything. Don't stay like, I didn't know. I missed that class, so that announcement I missed. Don't say like that. And you come up with your own WhatsApp group and always discuss about the new classes, cancellations, and new arrangements and everything. So get your thing. So you stay connected with all these communications with your peers and stay in contact with your teachers. Be comfortable with asking questions and develop that culture in your own group. Every new group is new. So you have to be able to go to MIS. There are messages and things. We have a SMS system. Whenever we have a class cancellation or something, we PGIA send a SMS to your phone. So give a valid phone number, have your WhatsApp and get everything and reply. Reply to those things so that we know that you got it. Make payments and register for courses, check grades, all those things. Academic honesty, I do not want to touch this subject. But when you are having online exams and things, you know, things can happen. So many teachers don't like online exams. But under special circumstances, we do, but we don't want to, be caught in dishonesty. That will ruin your whole life in the future. We will not be able to recommend you to anything, any place. And the spread in this country goes very fast. The words go very fast to other places. So it will ruin you. So you have to have regular attendance. We have 80% attendance rule, although we may not practice it very much. You should have this commitment and you should try to get high grades. Don't just stay there. Don't forget about what you have done earlier. You can always go for, what you have done in the undergraduate times may be something, but try to get. You can get 4-point GPA. You can get high grades this time. So try those things. And what we want. So we want you to, develop this networking as a PGIA alumni and the PGIA students, and getting involved in the PGIA events like the PGIA Day and all this. And finally, I want to call your name. And when I call your name, you should have this clock. And we will be garlanding you, and I will be the happiest with your parents and family and everybody. So thank you very much, everyone. So the official presentation of the director is over, and you have a 30-minute break. Then you have to come back and use your border study links, individual border study link, to communicate with your teachers, and try to keep your video on during the discussion so that the teachers can see your face and get to know where you work and what your interests are, whether you can have online classes, on-ground classes, and whether you have continuous evaluations, assignments, quizzes, midterms, exams, final exams, how the plan is. Everything depends on the teacher and the student. So please get into that one. So the official part is over and you can have a break. But if you want to, have lunch while listening to this question and answer part, you are allowed to do so. So congratulations once again, and thank you very much. And we will help you, and you have to help yourself and us to achieve your goals perfectly. Excellent. So let me answer now the couple of questions people may have. What are the days and times of the lectures conduct? Most of the time, the lectures are conducted during weekends because we treat you as professionals. Of course, we like you as full-time students here, but that doesn't work. Most of the people work outside. So usually Saturday 8 to 12, Saturday 1 to 5, Sunday 8 to 12, Sunday sometimes 1 to 3, sometimes 1 to 5, sometimes Saturday 5 to 7, classes outside. Occasionally, you can discuss with the teachers and arrange classes online on weekdays, weekday afternoons, like after 6 o'clock, like 5 to 7 or 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can arrange classes like that one. Teachers will be talking to you. If you have difficulty, please inform the teacher saying that, please, this time is difficult for us. We collectively make the decision and stay polite and try to come up with a conducive decision and how the classes are held. Some retired teachers may want to, they are not teaching, working during the daytime, so they may want to do weekdays, daytime classes. But if you are uncomfortable, please talk to them. Oshan Gudwardhan, I don't know the question. Dear sir, will you provide the recordings of the lectures? Some teachers do, actually most teachers do, and some of them may not like very much because their lectures are used by some people and go and teach like their own. So we don't know. So things can happen. So some may not like, some may not like, some may like. The problem I have seen is like my classes from Saturday 8 to 12. Some students miss them and they ask the recordings before the examination, thinking that they will be able to read, but they do not have enough time to read, because if they miss 2, 3, 4 classes, that means 16 hours of lectures are missing. And they do not have enough time to go through all the recordings. That happens a lot. So of course, we may be able to give you the recordings because we usually record them. Usually we can give you, but you will not have time to read. So if you want to read, you have to read between this Saturday, you miss the class, and next Saturday you have the new class. So between that period, you will have to read so that by the next Saturday, you will be ready with the other people. Many students don't do that and wait till the last moment, and then they don't have time. Registration the required details are well, but still I did not receive any confirmation link for this session as well. So okay, these kind of things, Oshan, you need to talk to call and arrange. These are individual connectivity problems. You have to call the PGIA, like especially Mr. Kumar or Mr. Hemanjit, and get those things arranged. Individual issues are there, and I may not have time to go to 120 individual issues. I got to food science, but I could change to master's in food and nutrition. Yes, please send send an email quickly to the dir at PGIA and ACLK, and you can quickly change it. No problem. I followed applied study A plus and applied during my undergraduate program. Do I need to follow this? Ask your board of study. Now, yeah, you can ask whether you have to do it. Usually, if you have B or above, you don't have to follow prerequisite classes in the PGIA. But few boards have made it compulsory, so you can ask them. Ibrahim is asking my reference number while applying for I have applied for tourist biology course, and now I wish to change ag engineering. So quickly, if you have not received any reply, please admissions, please call them and ask and get it changed. You can change, no problem. No problem, you can change and go to the ag engineering link and follow that. Masters in Bioengineering. So go to that one and follow the today's discussion. Go to engineering board and follow the today's discussion. Sachini says, I have applied to SAVA program. I have submitted SOP, still not called for the interview. The coordinator. You need to talk to them. I think the SAVA, Professor Damidaya once had to go abroad. So I don't know much about the scholarship, but because I think everybody will not get the SAVA scholarship. So they will have an interview, but right now, you think about, can you follow the program without the SAVA scholarship or not? I will advise you to register for the prerequisite courses and follow the prerequisite courses, because the Professor Dayavan, the chairperson of the Board of Study Ag Engineering, will come back to the country in 1 month, and they will organize these interviews. So then you can see whether they are registered or not, selected or not. Michael, I already requested what your board of study course fee payment. I also paid the particular. I wish to change my board of study to because of program. Yes, you can always change. Not always. During the first semester, you can change, and this is the best time to change. So please change it quickly. Please send the request quickly, at least an email, so we will put you into the right board. Is the lectures on physical mode? Many teachers want examinations to be on physical mode. Some board of studies, like I think board of study crop science, and a few people want to do it on ground. But most of them says, okay, online is okay. Talk to them at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock today. ask them openly how the program is held. Because it depends on the board study. I have registered for MSc but not sent the email. I mentioned like masters, so you can I can pay the amount of a master. Yeah, you can pay for the 1 year master's amount first and go ahead. And when you get ready, you can move. When you after that 1 year, when you start to do the research, when everything is set, when you have the money to do the research and you have been accepted, then pay the rest. No problem. What happens if the GPA value is less than 3? Then you cannot get MSc. If you are less than 2.75, then you cannot get anything. If you are between 2.75 and 3, you can get postgraduate diploma. If you have many C's, your GPA will come below 3. Below 3, because C is 2, B is 3. So if you get B minus, C plus, C, your average will go down. Then you have to do those. If it doesn't go below 3, because you have A and other things, it balances, then no need to do anything, because C is enough. But if your average has dropped, then you have to do this C again and get B's. Again and get B's. You can do again. You can ask for a repeat exam, or you can follow next year and do it. No problem. Good afternoon. Could you please explain the payment process with the credit card again, sir? So please contact those 3 people. You select one of them. You have the phone number. Talk to them, because each one has a different process. Talk to them at the credit card and get the credit card. And once you get the credit card, you have to pay. The HNB bank will not pay us. You get the credit card. You come to PGIA and you can pay the full amount. And you can pay in installments. First, get the credit, then come and see us, so we can say hi. Okay, any other questions? We have 126. Okay, no open questions. So thank you very much. Before the registration, it doesn't matter. You can complete the registration part, and then if there are delays in the credit card process, you can complete the registration process without making the payment. And just inform the PGIA that you have applied for the credit card. Once you get the payment, you will get this one. Then when you can even register for prerequisite courses. If you have to do a prerequisite, you can register for prerequisite course. Prerequisite goes for 1 month. After that, only the term starts. So you have some time. So if you have to follow prerequisite, follow the prerequisite courses. But we will not give you a grade until you pay. You can follow, but we will not give you a grade until you pay. So those are the only things. So thank you very much. We have about 125 participants there. So good luck and have a nice lunch, a quick lunch. And you can press the other link relevant to your board study. And you can listen to the people. Be prepared to turn the mic on, because teachers will want to know you, get to know you, and they will want to sometimes see your face. So be in a place where people can see you, in a proper place where people can see you and people can talk to you with a good link. So good luck with everybody. So congratulations once again, and I wish you a very good luck. I want all these people to graduate, no dropouts. So I hope you will put your best efforts and get this degree through, so that you will be happy for the rest of your life, and your parents and children and their friends and everybody will be happy and proud of you. So thank you very much for listening. So we see you soon in some events here, or on round exams and lectures. Thank you very much, everyone.